All right, now we're doing 7Q, rotate for a max. This is by G964, and 86% of people like it. We're going to take a number, rotate it left, and getting something, okay? So we're going to take whatever is at index 0 and send it to the end. Here we're going to send whatever is at index 1 to the end, then whatever is at index 2 to the end, index 2 to the end, index 3 to the end, and then we're done. We're going to choose, out of those 5 things, we're going to choose the highest one, which is the largest one, which is this one in this case. And we're only going to do it this dot length minus 1 amount of times, right? So that being said, what we're going to do is say, we're going to declare some variables. We're going to say let array equal. Now we're going to use the string constructor, which is used to create a new string object. Basically, you put string, capital S, string, with a thing inside of it, and it'll turn it into a string. In this case, we're going to turn in into a string. We're going to say string in. And now we're going to make it into an array by using the split method, which takes a pattern and divides a string, it's a method that takes a pattern and divides a string into an ordered list of substrings by searching for a pattern, putting the substrings into an array, and then returning the array, right? So we're going to say dot split, and we're going to split it by the spaces in between the characters, right? Now we're going to declare a result variable, and that's going to be equaling in, all right? Now we're going to do a for loop, and we're going to say for while index, we're going to say let index equals 0, and while index is less than array dot length minus 1, like I said, and then we're going to do index plus plus, iterating through, all right? And what we're going to do here is we're going to say, we're going to use this push method. We're going to push, which adds, it's a method that adds one or more elements to the end of an array and returns the new length of the array. So in this case, we're going to be pushing this first, whatever's at index 0, whatever is at the current index, to the end, okay? So what we're going to do is say array.push, and to get the thing, to get this one to go to the end, we're going to use this splice method, which changes the contents of an array by removing or replacing existing elements and or adding new elements in place. So what we're going to do is say like, what are we going to do? We're going to say index here, and then we're going to delete one thing. So like here, let's say it didn't add May there. So it's just, this is what it looks like. We're doing this. Let's run it. See, it just pops. It just takes June off of there, right? And June's going to be actually in there. What am I trying to say? We're going to actually be able to add that June. Anyway, let me show you what we're doing. So we're going to say array.splice, and then we're going to say index and 1, all right? So we're going to take this, basically it's taking the 3 off, and now this is the array without the 3, it's taking the 5 off, and this is the array without the 5, and now it's pushing that 5 back on, okay? So now what we're going to do is change what we just did back into a number. So we're going to say let num equal, and we're going to do that by using the number constructor and also the join method. So the number constructor is basically just the same as the string constructor. We put number here, and then we're going to have a string in there, and it's going to turn it into it. But right now it's an array, so we need to turn it into a string. We're going to do that by using the join method, which creates and returns a new string by concatenating all the elements in an array separated by commas or a specified separator string. That specified separator string we're going to use is the spaces in between characters, right? So we're going to do number, and then array.join spaces in between the characters right there. And now we're also going to do if num is greater than result, we're going to change result into number. So we're going to say result equals num. All right. And now we can just return the result, because it's going to go all the way through as many times like we said at the beginning and return, and the result's going to be whatever's the highest. So let's test it out. Looks good. Attempt it. 1 millisecond on this one. Now I think we can do this a little bit shorter because that's a lot of typing. So let's do that by saying const here. We got the max rot. We're going to do this, a little bit of this, turn all this into an arrow. All right. And what we're going to do here is start by putting this on a new line because I don't got enough space. But we're going to start by saying string in dot split spaces in between characters. Now we've got a good old array right there. Now we're going to use this reduce method. And the reduce method executes a user-supplied reducer callback function on each element of the array in order, passing in the return value from the calculation on the preceding element. The final result of running the reducer across all elements of the array is a single value. The first time that the callback is run, there's no return value of the previous calculation, but if supplied, an initial value may be used in its place, and that's what we're going to do. All right. So we're going to do the reduce. All right. So we're going to say dot reduce. All right. And now we're going to do this function, and let me go back to the reduce right here. We're going to use this syntax right here, this previous value, current index. We're just not going to use the current value because we don't need to bother with it. And then we're also going to do comma initial value right there. All right. So let's do prev for previous. We don't need anything for the current. And we'll say index right here. And then we'll do an arrow function and then comma in, because in's our initial value. All right. So right here, we're going to be looking for the maximum number of all those things we were doing before. So we're going to use this math.max function, which returns the largest of 0 or more numbers given as input parameters, right? And here's the syntax we're going to use here is we're going to put math.max and whatever the two values compared. This one's going to be the previous, and this one's going to be the thing when we iterate through, right? So we're going to say math.max. We're going to say prev right here, and then we're going to compare it to this thing here, which is going to be in equals. And right here, we're going to use this slice method to return a shallow copied of a portion of an array into a new array object selected from start to end. The end won't be included, where start and end represent the index of items in that array. All right. So like right here, it's slice 2 to 4. So it's going to slice 0, 1, 2 to 4. It's not going to include the 4, just these two right here. All right, now let me show you what we're going to do with that. So first we're going to say string in, and then we're going to say dot slice, and then we're going to start off with 0 index. Okay, so that's going to take care of, in this case, it's going to take care of this first once, because 0 to index would be 0 to index 1, not including the 1. Not including index 1, all right? So now we've got that. Now we're going to add, let's say plus string in dot slice, and now we're going to add the stuff after it. We're going to add this stuff, okay? And let me show you about that. So dot slice in. No, dot slice, we're going to say dot slice from index, what are you doing here? From index to index plus 1. Yeah, from index plus 1. All right, so we're slicing this stuff, and then we're going to say one more add. We're going to add string in dot slice, and then we're going to add the first whatever's at the index character. All right, So we're going to say at slice index to index plus 1. And hopefully this works. Let's see what happens. All right, good. Now attempt it. 1 millisecond also. So both of them 1 millisecond. I'm just going to put this one up there because it's already here. So let's test it out. We already did that. Submit it. Very much like this one. My solutions. Just me on this one. Best practice in my opinion. And we'll see you next time.